Good morning, students. Welcome to your English class. As you know, we are doing a very important topic today of your English grammar. Why is it important? It is important because your correct English depends on use of these words. You know what verbs are? When I ask children what verbs are, most of the children, they come up with answers. Ma'am, they are action words. They are doing words. Yes, they are doing words. They are action words. But there is something more to it. It's not just that they are doing words or action words. Of course, that is one of the main definitions of verbs. But then there is something more to it. More to it other than action words. So what more is there? And why am I saying that your correct English depends on this? Why? Because verbs are the words which keep on changing their forms. You must have seen, you must have observed verbs in their different forms. Like there is a word eat, E-A-T, eat. Somewhere we find ate, and then we find eaten. And sometimes it is like eating. See, these are the different forms. A verb gets changed. So you should know where to use eat, where to use ate, and where to use other forms of this word. So that means, unless and until we don't know the different forms of these verbs and where to use them and how to use them, we cannot understand or we cannot know how to use English correctly or how to speak English correctly. So that is why I'm saying that it is very important topic. It is a very important topic, and if you know verbs well, if you know their usage well, then nothing can stop you from understanding and speaking English, speaking grammatically correct English. So let's go to the definition of the verbs first. What are verbs? Yes, like I said, that when I ask children about verbs, the first definition they give me, the only definition most of the children give me, is that they are doing words. So yes, they show action. They show action. They are action words, and they show a state of being. State of being of the verb. What does it mean? Like what state a noun is in. What state or condition the noun is in. I'll be telling more about it, this definition of the verbs as we go further. So the examples of verbs are go. Go is an action word, and is a being word. You know these helping verbs, you must be knowing about them. Helping verbs. So those helping verbs, some of them are being words also. An action verb expresses a physical or mental action. So what kind of action does this verb convey to us? It conveys physical, like when we are moving, when we are walking, showing some action. And it can show some mental action also. It's not that if we can always be moving and moving our hands, feet, our body, then only we can show action. No, it is not like that. It can be some action which we do when we are just still, when we are not moving at all, like when we are thinking. When we are thinking, we don't need to move our body parts, but then we are doing mental action. So that kind of action is also an action. When we are sleeping, so that sleeping is also our action. So examples are he paints. Paints is an action. We thought about it. Thought is a mental action. Now an action verb is a word. Now this is the first definition, the action word. An action word is a verb that names an action. It may contain more than one word. Notice the following action verbs. See, all the highlighted words, the words in yellow, are all action verbs. Sports experts write about the football player Jim Thorpe even today. Thorpe blocked like a tank. He tackled like a tornado. Children must be relating with this. They must be knowing who this great player is. In every game, Thorpe attacked his opponents with all his might. He caught the ball skillfully and charged ahead fearlessly. Experts still remember and honor Thorpe's greatness. So, all the highlighted words here are action words. Some of them are real action words, physical action words, and some of them are mental, like remember, honor. So, these are all action words. Most verbs are action. Remember this. Most verbs are action verbs. Some action verbs refer to physical action that can be seen by other people. Like I said, we can be moving our body parts, and the other people, other person or other people can identify that we are doing some action. So that is physical action. Others refer to mental action that cannot be seen. So physical action, example, the gardener feeds the ducks. And mental action, she likes the migrating bird's nest. So what did we understand out of it? That action can be physical as well as mental. An action verb can express physical action such as writing and running, or mental activities such as thinking and honoring. So all these examples are of physical action, and the others are mental actions. Now see, being. Which words are being words? Other verbs express a state of being. These verbs do not refer to action of any sort. So they are not actually action words where we do not show any kind of action. They simply tell what the subject is. कि subject क्या है? Like if you translate this word is in Hindi, so what do we get? है. Like she is tall, वो tall है. वो, she, we are referring to she, the pronoun. Tall is the adjective, and the verb there is. So if we translate this in Hindi, we get hai. So that hai, being, is a being word. So that tells us कि कोई noun क्या है या फिर किस condition में है. So other verbs express a state of being. So words like is, am, are, was, the past tenses of these verbs do not refer to action of any sort. They simply tell what the subject is. Bert is the gardener's assistant. So here we are telling about Bert. What is he? वो क्या है? What state of being is he in? He seems, see the other word. This is also being word. Okay. Sometimes it acts as an action word also, but mostly it is used as a being word, because we cannot leave the sentence like this. For example, I just gave you an example, or we can give an example. He reads. So here we can just stop the sentence there. Okay, we don't need any other word to complete the sentence. So reads is the predicate there. He is the subject and reads is the predicate. But there are some words where we definitely need some other words to complete the sense of the sentences. So those words can be called as being verbs, where we cannot stop the sentence at that verb, but we need the help of other words to complete the sentence. Like for example, we cannot say in the first example, Bert is. What is Bert? So we need some other words to complete the sense. Similarly, the word seems cannot be left like that. He thought. So if we use thought, we can say the sentence is complete. He thought. Of course, we can use he thought about something, he thought about the plan, but then if we use it, he thought. Okay, that means he's thinking, but we can't say he seems. We can't stop the sentence at that. कि मतलब इसके यहाँ अगर हम seems यूज करते हैं खाली, तो ये सेंटेंस अधूरा रहेगा. हमें कुछ और वर्ड्स चाहिए इसको कंप्लीट करने के लिए. बट इफ वी से he thought, so we don't, sometime of course we need to make it a very expressive sentence, but if we leave it at that, if for example we are doing a paragraph, but sometimes if we use the sentence like that, he thought, So we can sometimes leave it like that. So we don't need any other word to complete it. But seems, become, there are like, some other words are like this, where we need other words to complete the sense of the sentence. So those words are being words. He seems afraid of the swans. One swan looks angry. See, looks is also, though we take it as action word, but it is actually being word. In fact, swans are angry. Now these are the most common being words. These are the most common being words. Am, is, are, and the past tenses of these: was, were, be, being, and being. So these can be form of the word be. Am, is, are the forms of be actually, but then be can be used alone also. Now these are other being words. Appear, become, feel, grow, look, seem, remain, smell, sound, stay, taste. So why are these being words? Because they tell us about the state of being, and when we use them in a sentence, we need other words to complete the predicate or to complete the sense of the sentence. Remember, action words can be used without us needing other words to complete the sentences. But here, these being words cannot be used like that. We need other words to complete the sense. Now, identify. This is an activity for you. You can do it later, of course. Identify each verb in the sentences below. Does it express action or being? So, out of this, you should notice what words are action words and what words are being words. We parked and locked our bicycles in the rack at the library. So, parked, locked, they are action words. Many resources were available there. Were is a being word. I considered several books. Considered several books about wild animals. So what is considered here? Considered is being word, and sometimes it can be used as action word also. All of the books looked interesting. Looked, being. So just think about this exercise and try to do it yourself. Linking verbs and predicate verbs. Now linking, they are also linking verbs because they link the sentences with the other word. Like Bert is a gardener. So this is performing the function of a linking word also. So they are called linking words also. Linking verbs tell what the subject is or is like. A linking verb connects the subject of a sentence with a noun or an adjective in the predicate. Like you can see, John McGraw was the manager. So what is a manager here? It is a predicate noun and subject is John McGraw. And what word is linking us with this manager, with the predicate? Was. So these words are being or linking words also. Now common linking words: be, become, grow, seem, turn, appear, taste, look, feel, smell and sound. Many of these linking verbs can also be used as action verbs. Like I said, some of these words can also be used as action words also, but then it depends on the use, how we are using it, whether we are using it as an action verb. For that we have to understand the sentence properly and carefully, so we can identify whether this word has been used as an action word or as a being or linking word. Like Chandra turned 13, here it is linking verb. The car turned the corner, here it is the action verb. Now predicate nouns. Predicate is the part of the subject. Part of the subject, which tells us about the subject, what the subject is doing or how the subject is. A predicate noun follows a linking verb. It tells what the subject is. Sam is a pitcher. Susan was our best player. Will you be my friend? So these linkers or linking verbs link the subject with the predicate noun or the adjective. Now predicate adjectives. See, here we are talking about nouns. Pitcher is a noun. Player is a noun. Friend is a noun. So here the subject is being linked with the predicate noun. And here, if it is an adjective after the linking verb, then it becomes the predicate adjective. A predicate adjective follows a linking verb. It describes the subject by telling what it is like. Samantha is beautiful. Susan was bored with sports. Will the game be interesting? Now, which sentence in each of the following pairs contains a linking verb? Now here, out of these sentences, try to find out which sentence has a linking verb in it. A monkey appears from behind a tree. It appears excited. So out of these you have to find which a pair has been used as a linking verb and which a pair has been used as a being verb. Okay, linking, being, or an action verb. A monkey appears from behind a tree. Here it is an action that he appeared. He came from behind a tree. It appears excited, and here in this part of the sentence it is used as a linking verb. The young deer grew taller. The male deer grew antlers. So in the first part, what is it? Grew taller. The male deer grew antlers. So where is it an action word and where is it a being word? In the first one it is the action and in the second one it is the being. The koala bear looks cute. It looks for its mother. So again in the first one it is used as a being word, looks cute. It is the being word, and looks for his mother, finding his mother, it is the action word. The koala takes a leaf. Does it taste good? So koala tastes a leaf. It is the linking verb. Does it taste good? So it is action word here. We smell the eucalyptus tree. It smells pleasant. In the first part it is the action and in the second it is the being. We feel the tree's bark. It feels smooth. So in the first one it is the action and in the second part feels is the being word. Now list the verbs in the sentences below. Label each verb action or being. Now try to understand these and try to find out whether these are used as linking verbs or as action verbs. List the verbs in this. Again, there are more parts to it. Now we go to helping verbs. One more. See, in the first one the verbs, like we completed action verbs. Then in the second, being or linking verbs. Now there are helping verbs also. Helping verbs which are auxiliaries, like I told you in our previous class. Main verbs and helping verbs. Verbs have 4 principal parts that are used to form all tenses. And in the beginning also I told you why are verbs important, because they are the words which keep on changing their forms with persons and with tenses. So they have got 4 principal forms or parts which we usually see the verbs in. Jump can be seen in jumping, jumped, and again jumped. So the chart below show how the principal parts of most verbs are formed. Like I gave you an example of the word eat. It becomes ate, eaten, and eaten. Play, played, played again, and then playing. So these are the 4 different forms of verbs which we use or which we have to use when we change the tenses or when we change the persons. The principal parts of the verbs are often combined with helping verbs to form verb phrases. Now helping verbs defined. So what actually is a helping verb? A helping verb is a verb that helps the main verb tell about an action or make a statement. So what does it mean? That means, why is it called a helping verb? It is called a helping verb because it helps the other verb present in the sentence, other verb or the main verb, to make sense of the sentence. Like for example, if we say Ram jumping on the road, is it correct sentence? No, it is not a correct sentence. Why? Because we need something else to complete the sentence. So what is that word? So we need a helping verb to complete the sense of the sentence. So we can say Ram is jumping on the road, or we can say Ram was jumping on the road. This main verb jumping cannot be used alone. So we need help. We need the help of any other word to complete the sense. Okay. So this is why these words are called helping verbs, because they help the main verbs to make sense of the sentence. So these are some helping verbs. In the previous class I told you that these are called auxiliaries. You may notice some words are the forms of be, these linking words, and some of them are modals. Should, could, would, may, might, must, shall, will. All these are modals in it, and the others are helping verbs. A verb phrase. Why is it called verb phrase? Because it's a group of words we are using as verbs. Shall, have, been, going. See, 4 words, 3 helping and then 1 main verb. Will be sleeping. Shall be going. See, these are group of words we are using as verbs. That is why they are called verb phrase, because it is not a single word. We are using a group of words as verbs. A verb phrase consists of one or more helping verbs followed by a main verb. Helping verbs and verb phrases. The students are jumping rope now. See, jumping and are. Are is the helping verb, and with jumping it becomes, when we use them both together, they become verb phrases. In the sentence above, the word are is a helping verb and the present participle jumping is the main verb. Together they form a verb phrase. A verb phrase consists of more and more helping verbs followed by a main verb. Like I said, it can be shall have been doing, will have been sleeping. So there are so many helping verbs, and after that we have the main verb. So that was all for the definition of verbs. So what are these? Now next time when I ask you what are verbs, don't give me an answer, ma'am, they are doing words or action words. It's not the only definition for verbs. Verbs are, of course, action words, then they are being words, and lastly they are helping verbs. So we can use them in different states or for different actions. Verbs are action words, being words, and helping words. Being words are also called linking words because they link the subject with the predicate, and that predicate can be a noun predicate or it can be any predicate. It can be adverb also, it can be adjective also. Like we can say Ram runs fast. So fast is an adverb. Ram is tall. Tall is an adjective. Ram is a manager. Manager is a noun. So it can be noun predicate, adverb or adjective. It can be anything. But then the main thing is that those being or linking words, they link the subject with the predicate. So they are not action words. And sometimes the same words is, am, are, they can be used as helping verbs also. How? Because they help the main verb, main action verb to complete the sense of the subject. So that was all for today. Thank you children and have a good day.